Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of live counter review using technical analysis. For today, the flow will be the same as usual. First, I'll go through the economic calendar, followed by some of the indices as well as commodities. Then, followed by some of the sectors. Some of the sectors like the FAANGM sector, US banks, semicons, as well as EV. And last but not least, we'll be covering the counters that you all have mentioned in the Q&A below. So without further ado, I'll begin. So for this week wise, I think the main thing will be a lot of the Fed speaks that will be going on. So for tonight we'll have the S&P Global Services PMI that's out at 10:45. Then the ISM non-manufacturing PMI is also out at 11 p.m. Then going to tomorrow 3 a.m. Fed member Postage will be speaking. When we look at Wednesday, we have trade balance coming in at 9:30 p.m. Then credit inventories as usual at 11:30 p.m. Okay, then afterwards, we have some more Fed members speaking on Thursday, Barkin, Bowman at 1:30 and 3 a.m. Usual jobless claims data at 9:30 p.m. Then Friday will be Fed members Barkin speaking again 1:05 a.m. Then not much afterwards. So yeah, generally a lot of Fed speaks going on. Okay, so next up I'll talk about the indices and commodities. So first up will be Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin has generally been in a range so far. So yeah, it's just been consolidating over here between 42.2K to about 43.7K. Some positive signs that it's still holding above this blue color trend line ever since there was a breakdown and then it quickly went back up, then it just held over here. So that's still a bullish, more towards a bullish side. So I would think for now, likely Bitcoin is still gonna hold in a bit of a consolidation still. Yeah, with resistance from this 43.7 to about 44.7 area over here. Then for the support is likely to be between the current levels of 42.3. If it gets lower, then the next immediate support will be probably around 41.3 or 41.4K. Yeah, then next up I'll talk about Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones has been bullish, continuing on its bullish trend last week. So good thing is that last week I talked about this the range over here, right? The height of this range. There was a breakout, so I projecting onto it. Projecting onto the breakout level, it has already surpassed this level. So the projected level was around 38,400, 38,500. So currently we are about 38.6K. I think it might be trading in this channel over here. So it might be like a sort of a bit of a slow grind upwards. Yeah. So for this week wise, I'm thinking for Dow, might see some resistance from 38.8K to about 39K area for now. Then support is likely to come in at around 38.3 to about 38.55 K region. Okay, and next up will be Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq last week at the start of the week there was a pullback to retest this breakout level of 15.1K and found support and ended the week strongly. So that's still a bullish sign. I think it for now, if it can clear this 15.6K level, right, could still go higher towards the next resistance level. I think will be at around 15.9K level. So previously, back in 2021, this was a resistance over here, 15.9K level. Then afterwards, will be all-time highs at around 16.2K. So these are levels to take note for Nasdaq. Then next one will be S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500 also start the week they have pullback and then finish that week strongly, similar to Nasdaq. So I think for S&P it might be near some resistance. So from this main uptrend channel over here, is nearing this trend line resistance lah. So that's about 5,000, above 5,000, 5,020, 5,030 area about there. So we might see some resistance over there when the price gets to those levels for S&P 500. Then we might see a bit of a pullback or consolidation thereafter. Okay, then next up would be gold. Okay, gold still lacking some momentum. Generally has been just range bound over here. First level of support will be still holding is around this 2010 level over here. First resistance is still around 2055 over there. So I will expect the range to actually still continue for the time being now. For gold, nothing much to see now, I think. Okay, next up is oil. Okay, oil has been quite weak. So last week, from this resistance area around 79, it pulled back. I pulled back more than expected lah. So if we actually broke below this 74 level previous resistance over here, just continue on pulling back. So I think with such bearish sentiment, right, we might see WTI crude oil come to some lower levels of support. Coming to this area possibly between 69 to about 71 over here before there might be some stabilization in terms of prices. Yeah. So still might see a bit of downside for oil. Then next one is VIX. Okay, VIX, nothing too much, still in the range for now. So yeah, as usual, the resistance still like 14.5, so about 16. Yeah, then support for now, yeah, so it's still in the range now. For VIX, nothing much. Okay, then copper wise, also I think nothing too much for now, still just range trading going on. Yeah, so a big pullback from this resistance zone above 3.9, then pulling back. I think might come back down to about 3.8 this level again. Okay, so that's all for the indices and commodities. I'll talk about the sectors now. First up will be on the FAANGM sector, which had reported all of their results as of end of last week. Okay, so Meta, okay, nothing much in terms of TA for now, since we have a very strong gap up all-time highs over here. So for now, I can't really comment too much for on this counter. We still need, I think, more data to come in to see how it might trend. Yeah, for Meta for now. So yeah, so I think not much TA I can say for this counter for now. Next one I'll talk about first is probably Apple. Okay, Apple, yeah. So Apple is still, after results, there was a gap down to this $180 level over here, and continue to find support over here as with the past two times earlier this year. So I think for now, looks like the stock price probably gonna retest some resistance levels again. So first level of resistance can be set in at around 188 over here. The next level will probably be around 190, close to 192. Yeah, so for Apple, it might see some resistance possibly between 188 to closer to 192, where it's about the yellow 20-day moving average as well as the 10-day rate moving average over here. If it does a bounce retest before some sideways action thereafter. Okay, next up is Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, yeah, also gap up after results, breaking past this uptrend channel over here. So looking back at the historical levels, currently we're at around close to $172. At this level, there was a previous swing high. Yeah, so there might be some sideways action over here first if some resistance comes in. But the overall trend is still quite bullish lah. The next higher resistance levels to take note of will probably be around will probably be around 177, then 188 as the next key levels for Amazon. Yeah. Okay, I think wait, there's a comment in the chat. Hi, from BY. Yeah. Sorry about the email reminder. Yeah, for this, I think we missed out on it. So apologies on our part. Yeah, sorry about it. Okay, now I'll carry on. Um, okay, next one is Netflix. Okay, Netflix after the results, just some sideways action over here. Okay, for now, I would think that the support area is around this 550 level to about 560 over here, this zone. So there was a breakout over here, and then price has been just resting over here. Currently, the 10-day moving average rate is also catching up over here. So that might provide some additional support as well. So for Netflix, I would think that for now, probably some sideways consolidation still. Yeah, it looks like it just wants to rest for a while. And let's see whether the 10-day moving average can provide some support as well for Netflix. In terms of resistance wise, 580 is the swing high over here. Above that, there's also resistance at 585 previously, around there. The next resistance, if that clears, will be more significant as it will be above 600, likely around 615 as the next swing high level for Netflix. Yeah, so I think perhaps a bit more consolidation for the time being for Netflix. Okay, then next up will be on Google. Okay, so Google gapped down after the results, but on Friday there was a nice bullish candlestick over here. Looks like it's respecting this trend line support over here. So I think with this bullish candlestick, we might see some sort of a bounce. Especially it's also holding at this horizontal at 141, which was a prior resistance. So this might act as some support. So I think perhaps we see a bit of a bounce towards like 140, 146, 147, where there's MA coming in above that. Yeah, for Google temporarily. Okay, then next up will be on Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft looks like it went down after the results, but it was a bit of recovery towards end of the week. I think it's probably respecting this trend line resistance over here. So if it continues comes up, I think it might come to still form. It's still possible to form higher highs lah. Currently, if it retest the resistance, it will be around 420. Then yeah, as the next level. So for Microsoft, I think it's still a bit bullish. Bullish for now. But if there's a breakdown below, let's say the moving average support, right? Currently around 400, then there might be some pullback. But yeah, important is to clear this candlestick over here, because on the results there's a lot of, can see a lot of selling, also increased volume. So it's important for the buyers to actually clear this hurdle so that stock can trend higher. If it cannot, right, then likely we're gonna see this counter come down for a while. Okay, I think that's it for the FAANGM. And then I'll move on to the US banks. Okay, I think for the US banks, currently they are still showing still showing some good continuation in terms of trend. Currently a bit of a sideways for now. Yeah, so we might see a bit of a consolidation take place for the US banks, looking from the XLF ETF currently. There's also near-term resistance around above 39.5, the current swing high level. As previously, there's also prior swing highs which was the previous all-time high as well. So in terms of upside wise, I think not too much, given the near-term resistances above. So probably just some consolidation action likely for now, between like 38.5 to about 39.5. Okay, first I'll talk about JP Morgan. Okay, JP Morgan did a retest of this resistance over here, and there was still then we had a bit of a pullback from 176. But the good thing is that price is still trading, still respecting the MA supports over here, as well as forming higher lows along the way. Also on Thursday, we saw price retest these recent swing lows at 171 and found support up. So that's still positive for now. I think the key will be to see whether the price can cross 176 is the key level and stay above it. Then there will be more bullish signals. If not, if the price keep finding resistance above 176, right, then I think for now we might still see a bit of a consolidation move for now, where this could be like a form of an ascending triangle for JP Morgan. Yeah. Okay, then next up will be Bank of America. Okay, for Bank of America, I think what I did last week was a retest of this trend line resistance over here. So also retest above the recent highs. But once it crossed, right, then there was selling coming in straight away. So I think in terms of price action wise, not that bullish. We could see maybe some further pullback if the MAs over here don't hold, which is around the $33, about the $33 level lah. Then we might see some further pullback towards the recent swing lows again, close to about 32 over here. Yeah, in terms of the indicators wise, there's also you also first time see a bearish divergence, a lower high in terms of the MACD, as well. Yeah, so I have some caution for Bank of America. Okay, then Wells Fargo also did a retest of the highs at around the $50.40. Also met with selling pressure immediately. So I don't think really like the price action for this. Also with bearish divergence as well. Yeah, so I think for now, if there's a breakdown below the recent lows of 48, right, then I think there might be for some further pullback towards 46, around closer to 46 to 47, these recent lows. Then it might just form maybe a range for now. Okay, last but not least is Citigroup. Okay, Citigroup. Citigroup managed to break above these highs around 54 and just consolidated after thereafter. This was a retest of a previous support level breakdown as well. Where there might be some short-term resistance acting on this counter for now. So I think for now there might be some a bit more sideways action to come for this counter for the time being. Yeah. The next key resistance level for this counter probably at around close to $59 as the next key resistance. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of the US banks, I think probably we're gonna see a bit of a range consolidation ahead possibly. Yeah. Okay, next sector I talk about is the semicons. So I'll start with the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. So for the stocks, last week we saw a retest of this previous swing high 4230 about there, and we saw a bit of a bounce. Then so I think in terms of the general uptrend wise, it's still intact. If it can continue to bounce upwards, toward breaking above this 4390 level, also this 10-day moving average, then we might see the semicons continue to show some strength in the market. Yeah. So I think overall is still okay for now, as long as the price section doesn't trend outside of this uptrend channel over here, it will still be good for the semicons in general. Okay, first I'll talk about the leader of the semicons, which is Nvidia. So Nvidia is very good, as in there was a movement upwards, then there was a consolidation that took place, and then very bullish candlestick on Friday. So with that, right, might still see the bullish momentum continue for a while until there's some reversal candlestick signals. Yeah. For now it's still quite yeah, still very strong now. Pre-market is up. Pre-market is up quite a lot again, like around above 680 now currently. Yeah, so for Nvidia, I think trend is okay until we see a reversal. Yeah. Okay, then for AMD wise, after the results, there was a gap down over here, but then subsequent price action showed some strength, especially on Friday where there was a gap up above the moving averages as well. So this 173 level just nice open at the 5 and 10-day moving averages above. So with that, I would expect uh perhaps a bit more continuation of the bullish momentum. Maybe retest the recent highs at 184 for AMD for the time being. But I don't think this is as strong as Nvidia lah. As you can tell from the chart. So maybe at 184, we might see a bit of a pullback again, then some sideways action. Yeah, in general, this might look a bit of a range going on for the time being, where it might consolidate some of the huge gains that you saw over here lah. So I think AMD might do a bit of range consolidation for the time being. Yeah. Okay, then next one is TSM. Okay, TSM also um there was a pullback on Wednesday, then but on Friday there was a nice candlestick closing above the two MAs as well. So I think that we might see some continuation to retest the recent highs at 118, close to 119 again. Then it might just form a bit of a consolidation for timing, a bit similar to AMD lah. Because for TSM there's some resistance around 121 based on previous historical levels over here as well. So it might just do a bit more consolidation first um at this zone over here. Okay, then next I'll talk about Marvell. Okay, for Marvell, it saw a pullback towards the prior resistance. So previous resistance levels was around 67, 60, around 66, 67. Then last week we saw a retest over here. There was some bounce. But I think for now, still not out of the woods yet lah. Unless unless we see a nice bullish candle close of like around above this 70 level, then it might still trend higher for now. So I think for now, the key is to see whether the recent lows over here at around 65, around 65.50 is able to hold. If it does, then we might see some bounce towards 70. There's a short-term resistance, a bit of resistance over here. The next resistance level is closer to 73, about there. So I think for this counter might be a bit weaker for now. Key to see whether this retest holds, then we might see some consolidation take place thereafter. If it doesn't hold, right, then might come down to retest the lower lows around 63 over there, 63 over here. Okay, the next up is Micron. Okay, for Micron, I don't really like the price action because it's starting to trade outside of this uptrend channel over here. And then there was a breakout of this 87 level. Here high close to 90, and then after a sideways price action, if there's some strength, right, it should continue to trend higher. But afterwards, what I did was like it's starting to trend a bit lower over here, these three candlesticks. So unless there's some follow up to back in and closing above 90, right? I think for now Micron might be seeing a bit of a might losing a bit of a strength lah. So I think for Micron we might see a retest of the lower levels like 84, 88, 82 to 84, this region over here. Then for some support if it comes down lower. Yeah, also like it's currently like below the the 5-10 day moving averages as well. Yeah. Okay, then next one is Broadcom. Okay, Broadcom, good thing is that still holding nicely in this uptrend channel over here. Yeah, so for now, as long as I think if you can break above this, the highs of Friday, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, you might see a retest of the highs around close to 1285, 1280 over here again for Broadcom. So I think the trend wise is still okay. Just a bit of a pullback recently. You might see some rebound come in uh again to retest the highs. Okay, then last but not least is Intel. Okay, for Intel, yeah, some weakness after the result. Trend a bit downwards and retested a support level over here close to 41. So I think the key for it to just rebound would be it must hold the recent lows around here. Lor. Yeah. Then maybe we might see some range bound trading currently. We might rebound towards like 40, 44, 44 to 45. There will be some resistance lah for Intel. Yeah. So I think this counter still likely be a bit weak for now. Yeah. So in general for the semicons, I think there's a bit of a divergence. The strong ones like your Nvidia is definitely very strong now. Then some of the weaker ones you probably see like some range consolidation and some have actually traded outside the uptrend channel. Yeah, so I think it'll be selective counter strength for the semicons. Not all will probably go up together. Yeah. Okay, last but not least, I'll talk about EV sector before I jump to the counters that you have mentioned. So for Tesla quite sideways for now. Um, yeah, so this was after hitting the low of the RSI close to the December 22 lows up, close to 17. So far, for now, some sideways trading. Then currently, I think the 10-day MA might still act as some resistance around the 194 level, which is confirming the recent highs over here. So if it still find resistance over here, might see a continuation or a bit of a range bound trading still for now. So I think for now, we need to consolidate a little bit more for this counter. And the key to see whether the lows at 180 is able to hold. Yeah. Okay, then for Xpeng, the Xpeng still showing some weakness. Yeah, just trending down below all the MAs. So I think with that, it might do a retest of this support level at 7.6 over here. Yeah, then we see whether it can stabilize afterwards. Yeah, for now still for quite weak now. Okay, next up is Rivian. Okay, Rivian started to sideways a little bit around the $15 mark. So this confirmed the lows here as well as the previous range resistance level. So I think for this counter, if it can break above this, yeah, the highs of Friday, we might see a bit of a relief bounce towards like 16 point above like 16.7, 16.8. This level confirmed the 20-day EMA. Then might just do a bit of a range bound for a while. Yeah. Okay, then last one I talk about is Neo. Yeah, for Neo, similar to XP, still showing some weakness over here. Yeah, then previous resistance was at uh around 5 to 5.2. Yeah, so that might be a key level if it comes down to those levels. For now, still some weakness for EVs. So in general for EVs, still quite weak. The stronger ones, okay, like if you call it stronger, is still Tesla and Rivian lah. I think maybe doing a bit of a sideways action for now. Yeah, so I think that's all for the counters. I'll talk about the counters that I mentioned in the chat box. Okay, hi BY Ang. So first I'll talk about SoFi. Okay, SoFi was one that reported results last week as well. So there was a gap up over here, but then it just followed up with a sell down very quickly over here. So currently it's below all the MAs currently. Then in terms of the support wise, I think if it comes a bit lower, then we might see a retest of these 7.2, 7.3 lows over here, which close to this Bollinger Band support over here as well. So for now, there's some likely be some some resistance around the 8.2, 8.3, this level where the 5-day MA is. And there was this 8.3 level was also a previous high, a key horizontal over here as well now. So for now, I think Wise Counter, it needs to sideways a little bit for a while to stabilize. Given that we had this pump and then very soon it dump over here. So we need to see price start to stabilize a little bit first. Yeah, for SoFi. Okay, then next up is Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, so for Berkshire, I think it might continue to go higher. So reason is because I saw that after there was a breakout over here, right? What I did was a range consolidation over here. So with this sideways trading, and then on Friday we had this bullish closing, right? I would think that the buyers are in control lah, and it's likely to move higher. So the range was about between 380 to about 387. And so with that, might still move above 390 towards close to 400. You might see. Yeah, then also picking up in terms of momentum for MACD as well. So in general, I think I'm still quite bullish on Berkshire. Okay, then next one is on C Limited. Okay, C Limited generally quite range. Recently yeah, a bit of a consolidation over here between like 38 to about 40. And then Friday we did a retest of these recent highs at 41.9 also. So if this resistance hold, we might see some pullback. So for C, if there is to be a breakout of this huge range, right? What I want to see is that price do a back test, and then this previous resistance at $40 should hold as a support for a bounce, then possibly it might continue its upwards momentum lah. So I think for now, C Limited likely to sideways consolidate a little bit for a while. Yeah. Given there's some resistance currently at around the 42 level over here. Yeah, when I look at the weekly chart, the weekly chart has some potential. Because I was looking at it quite a few days ago, then I saw there was this break above the mid Bollinger Band last week as well. So it might there's a chance that it might trend upwards. Yeah, if it continues the momentum. Yeah, so here we see how it goes this week. Okay, hi Alan. Palantir. Okay, for Palantir, I think the chart wise is generally quite range for now. Support is coming in around 16.1 and main resistance still around 18.3 this level. Because of MACD wise, some picking out in terms of momentum, while the price is generally sideways. So I think that's still okay. Like if it comes back to 18.3 over here, I think likely you see a bit of selling going on. Still, as I think likely to be kept in a bit of a range now. But I think Palantir is reporting results after market. So that will probably, yeah, that will definitely change. That will definitely affect the price more. So we see how it goes afterwards, after the results. Okay, next one is Elf Beauty. This one's also results coming. So for Elf, I think it's still generally quite bullish lah. This trend, there was a range consolidation over here. Between 153 to 163, and then currently price gapping up towards this trendline resistance. This is at 175. Yeah, so there might be some resistance at this level if the sellers decide to come. Then we might see a bit of a pullback and consolidation. But the overall trend is still very nice. It's still trending very nicely upwards, especially with this consolidation. The likelihood is still gonna see a chance of a higher high to come with that. Okay, next one is applied materials. So for applied materials, after it got a bit overextended towards this trendline resistance at 170, there was a pullback towards a retest of a prior resistance at 164, and then price found support over here. So I think for this trend to continue, let's try to break above this Friday highs of 169, which is also this a bit of a horizontal level over here. Then might come to revisit like 173, 175 about here again. Yeah, so overall trend is still quite good as long as this retest is able to hold, then we're likely to see a bit of a bounce again for AMAT. And then next one is the Lumina Tech. Okay, for Lumina Tech, I think following a retest over here, the lows at 2.3, then there was some buying coming in. They're starting to form a bit of a range. Consolidation 2.65 around there as a support. Near term wise, I think there's likely to be some resistance around the $3 level, given that this was a previous range consolidation. This was a support. So over here, there might be some resistance still. So for Lumina, I would think that some continued consolidation is still likely for now, given that there are near-term resistance over here. Okay, hi, Wing Hong. Okay, your counter Eli and Lily. Okay, so for this, this is also another very bullish counter. For this, I think with the breakout of this wedge over here, as well as it's formed a bit of a range consolidation for a while. So on Thursday, we saw a breakout over here. Likely, we're going to see continuation of the bullish trend upwards. I think, yeah, this probably at all, yeah, new all-time highs. So likelihood is that we continue to extend this bullish run. There's also results coming out for this counter. So I think that we'll see how that affects the price afterwards. Okay, next one is service now. Okay, service now is also a very strong counter. So trending trending upwards, then there was a bit of start to flatten a little bit, but it's still holding at the 10-day moving average. So very nice candlestick on Thursday. We had this retest followed up with a support over here. So I would think that for now, the bullish trend is likely to extend now. So I think probably you can break above these recent highs at 789, then continue to form higher highs for this counter. Okay, then next one is Costco. For Costco is also very very strong. Yeah, so for this, I think currently probably trading in this rising wedge over here. Retesting a possible trend line resistance over here. So we might see a bit of a consolidation. But support is like if there's a pullback, then support is likely to come in still around close to 700 over here. Given that, so I think I'm still quite positive on this counter. Given that the price action over here, there was a swing high, there's a pullback, and then over here we have sort of a hamburger formation. So it's like a bullish candle, then was a selling, but then eventually the bias is still in control over here. So and then we extended the bullishness on Friday. So I think in general it's likely gonna see higher highs again for this counter given the price action we see. Okay, next one is United Health. Okay, for United Health, I think some rebound in terms of the prices recently. With the breakdown over here 497 and then price recovering thereafter. So holding above the 5-day, 10-day moving average for now. So I think we might see some bounce towards like close to 520, where there was a recent high over here and it needs the reconnects with the 20-day MA over again. Then we might do some sideways consolidation first for this counter, given that it's currently in this downtrend stretch over here, and there's also previous support likely to act as resistance over here. Okay, next one is Nike. Okay, for Nike, initially it was going well. It was a sideways and then break above all the three MAs over here. But then from the second half of the week there was a breakdown again over here. So likely for this counter, probably gonna retested the recent lows again. So I would think if there's a bounce, probably gonna see resistance from these MAs over here again, close to 102 lah, about there. So in general for this counter, I think probably some sideways to downside bias again for Nike. If it goes lower, then we might see a retest of this swing low over here, which brings us down to close to 98, about there. Yeah. So for Nike, maybe some sideways to downside. Okay, next one is Viva Systems. Okay, for Viva, I think there was a recent pullback towards 20 MA, and then Thursday, Friday, there was a nice combination of these bullish candlesticks. So if this holds, I will expect a bit of a rebound towards um to at least test 209 at least. Yeah, where the 5 and 10-day moving averages are. But likely still probably gonna cap in this probably be kept in a bit of a range for now with resistance still likely at 214 over here. So I expect some sideways movement for the time being for Viva. Yeah. Okay, next one is PayPal. Okay, this one also having results this week. PayPal for now, I think it's probably in a bit of a consolidation move. Yeah, you can see like the range is actually tightening over here. Yeah, so for now, I would think probably a bit of a sideways section still. Yeah, with resistance around close to 64 and then support is around like 60 about there. So I think still probably some sideways action for PayPal. Okay, then next up is Enphase Energy. Okay, Enphase, I think it's probably gonna still trend downwards a bit. Yeah, still finding a resistance from the 20-day MA retest recently, and then we're seeing lower lows. Yeah, so if that continues, we might see price retest um this low again, which is around 96, about there. Yeah, for now I think still looking a bit bearish for now. Yeah, but there's also results coming out for this counter this week to take note. Okay, next one is ST Lauder. Okay, for ST Lauder, yeah, also results pre-market. Okay, currently it's up 154. So okay, let's see. Okay, for ST Lauder, I think it probably will retest these two levels. 157 to 165 over here. Then for now, it's like probably gonna see some resistance, at least for this week, probably at these levels. Yeah, then I think it might do a bit of a sideways thereafter. Yeah, for ST Lauder. Think for the trend to actually like sort of reverse, right? I think need to see if the price does a pullback. You need to see this previous resistance 146, 151, this region, right? Which is a strong resistance, hold as a support. Then probably the price can continue to move up thereafter. I think we still have some time. You can feel free to drop more counters in the chat box below, then I'll answer them. Sorry. Okay. Next one is super micro. So for super micro, still very bullish over here. Yeah. This price is starting to move up almost like close to 90 degrees over here. So I think as long as is currently still holding the 5-day MA very well over here. So likelihood is that um if it's gonna still tap to the 5-day MA lah. So I think for now it's still very bullish. And yeah, so probably the likelihood is that still probably gonna make new highs as long as it's still holding well along this 5-day MA. Yeah, for super micro since it's very strong momentum. Okay, hi, Wen Hong. Tractors, correct me if I'm wrong, but sure which counter you're referring to. A TSCO. Okay, thanks. Okay, for tractors, I think recently looks like a retest of these prior resistance levels at 224. The price move rebound. So I think as long as it can clear the highs over here at 23, this 234, 235, I think still quite good probability that uptrend over here is still gonna continue and retest um the highs close to 240 over here, for tractors. Okay, then for Mastercard, okay, Mastercard is all-time highs. Think for now probably the trend is still gonna continue higher since it's just very strong trend above all the MAs for now. So yeah, I think probably still gonna extend its uptrend unless there's a breakdown. And Visa not as strong as Mastercard, but it's still positive. Still holding above the MAs over here. And then recently price did a retest of these 273 resistance, holding and bounce afterwards. So as long as these holds, likelihood is that price is still gonna form higher highs to come from Visa. Okay, then next one is Upstart. Okay, Upstart, I think it probably is trading in this downtrend channel for now. Um yeah, below all the MAs for now. So I think maybe some sideways consolidation again first. Perhaps a retest of the recent lows at 29 to see whether it holds as a double bottom. Then yeah, but for now, I think still quite weak for now lah. Given that in this stretch we're still seeing lower highs and lower lows for now. Need to get out of this channel to regain some strength. Okay, the next one is Cloudflare. Okay, for Cloudflare, generally it is a very range bound counter continuing on from the range. It's pattern from last year lah. So I think for now it's still range. But the good thing is that recently we have higher lows at this 80 level as compared to the lower lows at 75, 76 over here. So as long as this can hold, I think we might see some bounce towards this 84 level again, then followed by 86, 87 over here to continue a bit of the range, the overall range for Cloudflare. Okay, then next one is CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, I think currently it broke above the previous all-time highs. Just a bit of a sideways price action recently, but overall it's still very strong. Still, for this counter looks like it's respecting the 10-day moving averages. And then Friday, Thursday, we have this bullish candlestick over here lah. So the likelihood is that if can break above these highs, we're gonna see higher highs to come. Yeah, to extend its uptrend. Okay, next one is Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks, after the results, a very interesting candle. There was a very big gap up, and then it just sold off all the way, high volume. I don't really like this candle, given that where it took place was that quite near this swing high over here. So yeah, likelihood is that a lot of people want to get out lah. So that's why we had this huge candlestick over here. So for now, price is still retesting the recent lows, still holding. So if this holds, then I think for now we might see a bit of a sideways action for now with some short-term resistance around this 94 level over here. Yeah, but then if this support breaks, right, then probably we're gonna see lower support to about 90 for Starbucks. So I think for Starbucks, currently a bit of sideways movement for now. Okay, next one is Pepsi. Okay, for Pepsi, yeah, this 165 support holding, then broke out this range resistance 168. Here retest. So I think okay, overall still positive. With this retest still holding the MAs. If you can break above the recent highs at 172, likelihood probably price gonna come to retest 173, 174 again for Pepsi for time being. Yeah, overall slow uptrend, but a bit more ranging for the short term. Okay, next one is McDonald's. Okay, for McDonald's, generally range over here. There are also results coming out, I think before market today. Yeah, so currently currently just sideways for now. I think probably that was still gonna continue for the time being. Yeah. If there's a pullback, likelihood is that the support at 288 is still likely to hold, but we expect some resistance still for the time being at 302. Yeah, looks like it's gapping down a little bit pre-market. Not sure if the results already out yet. Yeah. Okay, then some more counters, Thermo Fisher. Thermo Fisher, okay, for this, I think for this counter, we tested this old downtrend resistance line over here. So every time around here, we likely to see some price rejection take place based on history. Then it was a sell down, but there was some recovery on Thursday, Friday. Still, yeah. So I think for now, as long it's still holding along this trend line, support is still okay. But if there's a breakdown, then we likely gonna see some trend reversal take place. But personally, I don't really like this counter at these levels because there's also bearish divergence taking place. MACD RSI, so there's some weakening of the momentum lah. So I think there might be some downside to come if there's a breakdown that occurs at this level. But for the time being, if it holds, then might be just doing a bit of a range for now. Okay, the next one is Danaher Danaher Corporation. Okay, so for this counter, after the results, there was a gap up, then follow through with some nice bullish price action. So I think overall it's still positive. As long as this recent pattern can hold, right, this strength, currently is challenging this resistance at 247 over here, these swing highs. So there might still be some resistance taking place, but if it can clear, right, I think it might still go to higher highs, to sort of retest the next key resistance, which is around 256. Over here is above 256 as the next level. So let's see how it goes. This counter. Okay, then next one, HP Inc. HP for now, yeah, did a retest of this broken support at 29 over here, then pull back. Currently retesting these recent lows. So I think for this counter, probably if this recent lows hold, then we're probably gonna see some sideways for now. But given the current bearish trend, bearish momentum, right? If there's a breakdown, then likelihood is that gonna see lower lows like, towards a retest of probably 27.5, 27.6 this level over here. Yeah, so for HP now is a bit probably is range with a bit of a bearish bias. Then last one is PhillipCapital Enterprise. Okay, for this counter, yeah, I think for now some pressure still seeing lower highs, retest of a broken support over here at 16, finding rejection and moving lower below all the MAs. So I think if it's still resisted along the MAs, maybe we'll see a retest of the recent lows again at 15 about here now. Yeah, then maybe just some sideways afterwards. I think still got about 10, a bit like 10 minutes. So if you still have any counters, you still can drop in the chat lah. Then I'll go through. Um, okay. Think no questions for now. Maybe I just talk about some counters that I see like my watch list perhaps. Hey, Unity. Sorry, this is C3. C3 is still trending downwards ever since the breakdown of this wedge. Sorry, yeah, this wedge over here, we still holding the lows. Okay, 3.5 over here. Yeah, but still just trading lower lows. Um, yeah, probably nothing too much for now. Unity. Unity looks interesting. Um, Retest of this prior resistance 31.5, finding some support. If this can hold maybe some short-term bounce towards like 34 and then 35. Okay, also not much. Okay, I see some questions. Okay, I'll probably go through them first. Fiverr International. Okay, for this counter, I think generally is probably in a sideways consolidation for now. So yeah, the current range is about mm, this between this 26.1 to 28.8 over here. So I think likelihood is that Friday they are retest of lows again. So maybe we see a bounce back to these levels again. Yeah. Generally, we are still very sideways for now. Okay, next one, Teladoc Health. Okay, for this counter, we tested the previous resistance again, also the swing low here at $19. So it looks like probably with this candlestick, if it holds, then maybe we see a rebound towards 20.5, 20.6 perhaps, along this downtrend resistance line. Okay, then next one is TLT. Okay, TLT. TLT looks like trying to reverse. Then for now pulling back, maybe could find some support along my this 94.8 level if it respects the 10-day MA again. Yeah. In terms of the bond yield wise, I think for now 20-year is a bit range still for now. The last one I talk about is Pfizer. Yeah, for this counter, I think still trending downwards for in general for now. So I think maybe if it goes down lower, it could retest the lows. Close to 26 perhaps over here. Yeah, I think that's all for today. I stopped sharing my screen. Yeah, so let me drop the survey link in the chat box. Yeah, so yeah, there's a survey link in the chat box. You can fill it up to give feedback about today's session. Um Also feel free to join our B3 community on TA if you haven't. With this link over here, I'll talk about TA over there. Then you also can join our Telegram group on at Poems TA as well. I will share some TA posts over there from time to time. Yeah, so thank you everyone for today. Um I'm sorry if you didn't receive the email reminder about today's webinar. Uh, the next webinar will be on 19th Feb, which is the week after Chinese New Year. So next week will be CNY, so there's no webinar. So I think everyone have a hope everyone have a great week ahead. Safe trading as always, and also have a very good Chinese New Year, prosperous and stay healthy ahead in the year of the dragon. Yeah. So thank you everyone. I hope to see you all again in the next webinar. Thank you.